So it seems like all we're doing these days is working on this thing back here. After we fixed our water leak on the water pump, we still had some fluid on the ground underneath the truck, which we thought was coolant because it really didn't smell like oil. It sort of felt like it, but also felt like coolant. So anyway, we discovered that there's an oil leak, and we kind of thought that there was, but let me show you. We did the valve covers on these a year and a half ago. We did not replace the caps for the cams because they're held in place below the valve cover. But anyway, I just want to show you guys what it looks like. We have an oil leak there. This is the most significant oil leak. You can probably see it, it's wet there. And it runs down and then runs down to the bottom and drops off, and that's where it's leaking the most. This side is also leaking in the back. The front, not so much. But I want to show you. We're going to use an ultraviolet light. Last night we put some dye into the system to see where these oil leaks were coming from. It's going to get dark here in a minute. See if it'll show up on the camera. Might not. There you go. You can see the oil. It glows. Right there. Focus. Doesn't want to focus. There we go. That's all oil. That yellowish looking stuff, and it's dripping down. So we've pretty much determined, I think, that the pieces that hold, let me go back to having light here. The pieces that hold the cam in place, I guess it's like a bearing race or something, I don't know. But anyway, it's right behind this, and there's RTV on this. You really can't see it, but these pieces here are the caps, and they're bolted in on the inside. Well, when I rebuilt the motor a couple years ago, I don't think that I put any kind of sealant right there. I honestly can't remember, but it's not leaking from that point there. But we think on this side or this one, that's where it's coming from, because the gaskets are new, and I don't think the gasket itself is leaking. It doesn't look like when we were running the motor that's coming from these discs, because these discs also tend to leak, but you have to have a lot of mileage on it before they really start to leak. So we think it's coming from that little teeny tiny joint right there that cuts across. But again, I honestly can't remember if I put a sealer there or not. If I did, then I didn't do it right. If I didn't, well, I forgot to put the sealer there when we rebuilt it. So there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 places where this can leak from. It's leaking from one of the places at least. And if it's not leaking from that, then we got a more serious problem. The only other place that it can leak from in this general area would be the cam seal, which is right behind this gear, or this pulley, and it doesn't look like it's leaking from there. Now there's another place, and I can show you what the part looks like, because it failed while we were towing a couple of years ago, and this was right after the rebuild. I think I have it. Do I have it? Somewhere. So this is the cam keeper. Actually, this part sits right behind that gear, and then the seal, I believe, goes in that. But on the other side of this, I'm sorry, I got this reversed. The seal pops into that area there, and this slides into the head, and there is a little O-ring that goes around this, and it failed on this side, and it actually, we think it led, and this is from this driver side head, we think it led to this failure. You can see it's all scarred up in there because it actually seized up on us. We think the oil passage it got starved of oil or something from the leak, and it just, the camshaft just like seized into this and like ground it all up, and the motor stopped, and it was like, I thought a total catastrophic failure on the motor because it wouldn't start, it wouldn't turn over or anything. But once it cooled off and this thing actually released off of the camshaft, it was actually able to start again, but it was just absolutely pouring out oil out of from this area. So we had a new seal put on, and or O-ring, whatever you want to call it, not a seal, it's an O-ring. So when they did that side, I had them do this side too, and I just hope to heck that it's not leaking from there, because if it is, then all the work that we just did on this with putting the new timing belt on, we're going to have to tear it all back down, take this gear off, put a new O-ring back on it again, and that's not going to be any fun. So I hope that it's not this part. But this part sitting here like this, behind here, there really is no way to see back here without taking the gear off to see if it's leaking from there. So at this point in time, we don't know exactly where that oil leak is coming from. We just know that it's coming from the front, and I also think we have a leak in the back too. So I'm less inclined to think that it is that seal. So if I focus, that is what we are working on right now with the car, trying to get it ready for our trip in a couple of weeks. And also show you this other thing. Oh, I'm not getting through there. Let's see if I can squeeze through the back here. Okay, cool. So I had some rust going on in the back here, and it actually rusted through. I dug all this out, but I treated it with phosphoric acid. But you can see there's some pretty big holes. I'm going to fill this in with some fiberglass reinforced body filler. But this one back down here has a big hole. Big hole. So I need to put a piece of steel in here, and I'm not going to weld it this time because I noticed there's some more rust under here and there's rust up in here. So I got to take this panel off, but I am not doing it, or this trim piece. I'm not doing it before our trip because this is way too much involved. But I would like to do a temporary fix on this. So I started working on this, and I hope to have this done in the next couple of days, but the oil leak is also taking some precedent. But I got to put a metal patch in here, and then we're going to put some body filler on this and then paint it. Hopefully make it look nice. And we went to the junkyard the other day. I don't know if you can see that back there. But I got some electric seats for the truck. My driver's seat is kind of failing, and this one's actually a little bit nicer than the one that I have, although I just have manual seats. But this needs a little bit of TLC. There's a rip in the top, but we're going to get that taken care of, and that's why it's still in the back of the truck. But tomorrow, Garrett and I are going to go to the junkyard again and get, and these are cloth seats. This is a leather seat. So we're going to get hopefully, if it's still there, the leather seat for the back and the passenger side, which will also be electric. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. But anyway, just thought I would give you an update on what we're doing. Quite honest, I'm getting sick of working on the truck. I want to run it, I want to enjoy it, but it's like nonstop. I guess when they get to this age, you got to work on things or give it to someone else to work on, and then it costs money, lots of money. So, Garrett, he bought a tool today to do his CV boot clamps, which he needs to do before we go away, because one is busted. So he might be working on that this weekend. And yeah, that's it. Just a quick update. Never-ending fight with leaks and rust and everything else with the Trooper. Thanks for watching.